Okay. Hello. That was a weird starting. I was like, okay. Okay, this is the fourth chapter of the first section, and also the last chapter of the first section of the concise 33 strategies of war by Robert Greene. I will pause in the middle of like where there's a paragraph break or a subheading so that you know there is a break in the text. Okay, this is called the death ground strategy, and unfortunately this is the second time I'm making this video because something went wrong for some unknown reason to the first one, and the phrase that he is using for the death ground strategy is create a sense of urgency and desperation. Okay, so here we go. You are your own worst enemy. You waste precious time dreaming of the future instead of engaging in the present. Instead, nothing seems urgent to you. You are only half involved in what you do. The only way to change is through action and outside pressure. Put yourself in situations where you have too much at stake to waste your resources. To waste time or resources. If you cannot afford to lose, you won't. Cut your ties to the past. Enter unknown territory where you must depend on your wits and energy to see you through. Place yourself on death ground where your back is against the wall and you have to fight like hell to get out alive. Just for a second. Okay, if my editing skills are any good, I shall be able to edit what I just did out and start this paragraph again. If not, I'm just wasting my time. Keys to warfare. Quite often we feel somewhat lost in our actions. We could do this or that. We have many options, but none of them seem quite necessary. Our freedom is a burden. Upon occasion, all of us have felt a sense of urgency. Most often it is imposed from the outside. Now everything changes. No more freedom. We have to do this. We have to fix that. The surprise is always how much more spirited and more active this makes us feel. Now everything we do seems necessary. I'll just keep going. Leaders of armies have thought about this subject since armies existed. How can soldiers be motivated, be made more aggressive, more desperate? Some generals have replied on inferiority, and those particularly good at it have had some success. But over 2,000 years ago, the Chinese strategist Sun Tzu came to believe that listening to speeches, no matter how rousing, was too passive an experience to have an enduring effect. Instead, Sun Tzu talked of the death ground, a place where an army is backed up and has no escape route. Without a way to retreat, Sun Tzu argued, an army fights with double or triple the spirit it would have upon terrain. It would have on open terrain, because death is viscerally present. Death ground is a psychological phenomenon that goes well beyond the battlefield. It is any set of circumstances in which you feel enclosed and without options. You must act or suffer the consequences. Understand, we are not creatures who are intimately tied to the environment. We respond viscerally to our circumstances and to the people around us. If our situation is easy and relaxed, if people are friendly and warm, our natural tension unwinds. But put yourself in a high-stakes situation, a psychological death ground, and the dynamic changes. Your body responds to danger with a surge of energy. Your mind focuses. The trick to use this effect deliberately from time to time. The trick is to use this effect deliberately from time to time, to practice it on yourself as a kind of wake-up call. The following 5 actions are designed to put you on a psychological death ground. Stake everything on a single throw. Often we try too many things at one time, thinking that one of them will bring us success. But in these situations, our minds are diffused, our efforts half-hearted. It is better to take on one daunting challenge, even one that others think foolish. Our future is at stake. We cannot afford to lose, so we don't. Act before you are ready. We often wait too long to act, particularly when we face no outside pressure. It is sometimes better to act before you think you are ready, to force the issue. Not only will you take your opponents by surprise, you will also have to make the most of your resources. You have committed yourself and cannot turn back. Enter new waters. You sometimes have to force yourself to leave stale relationships and comfortable situations behind, cutting your ties to the past. If you give yourself no way out, you will have to make your new Sorry, I'm going to start this again. If you give yourself no way out, you will have to make your new endeavor work. Make it you against the world. A fighting spirit needs a little edge, some anger, and hatred to fuel it. So do not sit back and wait for people to get aggressive, irritate, and infuriate them deliberately. Feeling concerned by a multitude of people you dislike, or who dislike you, you will fight like hell. Keep yourself restless and unsatisfied. When we are tired, it is often because we are bored. When no real challenge faces us, a mental and physical lethargy sets in. Lack of energy comes from the lack of challenges. When we have taken on less than we are capable of. When we have taken on less than we are capable of. Take a risk, and your body and mind will respond with a rush of energy. Make a risk constant practice. Make risk a constant practice. Never let yourself settle down. Soon living on the death ground will become a kind of addiction. You won't be able to do without it. Okay, that's the fourth and last section. That's the fourth and last chapter of the first section of the Concise 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene, and I am terribly sorry about my reading. Have a good day.